Okay, here is my project. I'm currently in the basement of the home. And this white pipe here, is my 4-inch main drain line. It starts here, where I've got a sump pump already tied into it. And it travels all the way down here. And then it goes into my cast iron drain that goes out to the city sewer. So this is a 4-inch line, but all my connections are going to either be 3-inch for the toilets or 3-inch for the toilets and 2-inch for the lavatory, i.e. vanity, sink, and the shower units. So they're going to be tying into this line down here. Right above this area right here is the first floor bathroom. So the toilet for the first floor bathroom, which you'll see in my diagram, is approximately right about here. So it's going to be probably about 12 inches from that side wall, which you'll see on my diagram for the first floor. And so the toilet's going to be right in here. Then there's going to be the lavatory, i.e. vanity. Then there's going to be right here, is going to be the washing machine, washer and dryer unit. So, and then on this side, right here, this area right under here is where my shower unit is. So there's a drain here. So there's a drain that's coming down here. And then there is the toilet that's coming down here, the toilet drain, the 3-inch. And then I'm going to have, as I said before, the lavatory and the washer and dryer unit. Now they can come down and tie into this 4-inch pipe. But the question is going to be how to tie into a vent. So we'll look more when we get up to the first floor. While I'm here, I'll show you these are my hot and cold water lines. These are going to go up and over this beam and then go up into the wall for both the first floor bathroom and the second floor bathroom. So you can give me a basic plan on where to run those. These are 3/4, and I want to run 3/4 up all the way to the second floor, and then I'm going to run 1/2-inch PEX from there. So now I'll take you to the first floor. Oh, and by the way, these are 7.5-inch joists, and though they vary a little bit, they're about 22.5-inch wide. So they're like 24-inch centers. So this area here where I'm bringing the toilet and the other pipes down, I've got about 21.5 inches wide by 7.5 inches deep. So the plan is, if it'll work, we want to run that toilet here and create an 1/8-inch fall from there down to here, where then I could tie in down to here, and to now where I could tie into this 4-inch pipe. So the 3-inch there, and then we can connect the other ones to it on the way down, but then I still need to connect my shower unit there, and that can either go directly in if that's what you think makes sense, or it can come across here somewhere and tie in perhaps to that main trunk line. But then the question still is going to be, where's the vent going to go? And I have some options that I'll show you up there, because there is a wall right above this, some wall cavities that we might be able to use. So now I'm going up to the first floor bathroom. So here's the first floor bathroom all studded out. It's all framed, studded. As you can see, there are some items in the wall cavities that we have to be aware of. But we're now right above, this area is right above that white 4-inch line that I showed you in the basement. As I said, we don't have a lot of options for wall cavities as they're full with some ductwork, some wires, and some other things. But we do have an area right here where we could perhaps get a 3-inch line or even a 2-inch line. There is a joist right here, so we're limited a little bit there, but there is room here. And as a matter of fact, this is where I want to put my second floor 3-inch toilet line down through. So this is the first floor bathroom. You'll see in my diagram, and as I said below, the toilet's going right in here. Then there's the lavatory / vanity. Then there's the washer and dryer unit. So these wall cavities are available to use, or I can go down directly into the basement. What I can't do is go into this cavity. I can't go into this wall and then down because there's a plate. There's a plate right there that wouldn't allow, that's right on top of the cement block. So I can't go in the wall and then into the basement. I have to go directly to the floor, which is okay because that's what the toilet's going to do anyway. But the vanity, I could go, I plan to go into this wall and down. I think I have enough room to do that. You know, I think it's far enough away from the other joist that I can. And then the shower unit going over there, there's the box for the shower unit. It's a 38 inches by 38 inches base shower unit that's going to fit right in that place right there. And so that's where the hole is going to be. That's what I showed you in the basement. Now, so this is the ceiling now of the first floor bathroom and the floor of the second floor bathroom. So I'll give you a measurement. The measurement to the joists are about 97 inches from the floor to the joists are 97 inches. These floor joists for the second floor are 7.5, just like the basement, and they're about the same distance apart, though that might vary a little bit because of these scabs over here. But the upstairs fixtures are going to be like this. There's a toilet that's going to go right about here. And so similar to the first floor, I'm going to have a 3-inch line come down and go this way and then into this wall cavity and right down into there. Again, it would be an 1/8-inch fall for that particular 3-inch line. I have a tub enclosure, as you'll see when we get upstairs, that's right here. So there's the hole for it. So it's going to come down with a trap right in here, and then it could go down and then down into there, or most likely it sounds like it would probably just we'll drill holes through here and tap into this 3-inch line coming from the toilet over there. Now the vanity in the upstairs bathroom is going to be right in here somewhere, and in that case, with the vanity, I can go into the wall cavity because the wall joists are right about there. I could go into the wall cavity. Right about there is where the studded wall is for the exterior wall. I could come in there and down here, and then go this way and then tie into my toilet. So that's the idea there. These wall cavities are about 2 foot on center roughly. These vary, but as you see, as I said before, we really only have one option on this wall to get everything from the second floor down to the first floor, and I believe there's enough room, since there is about 6 inches from this stud to the floor joist. So now I'll show you the second floor bathroom. So here's the second floor bathroom, also studded in, framed in with no wallboard on the walls. So here's a basic layout. This dresser is going to be our lavatory. We're going to be putting in a vessel sink on the top with a faucet there. So it can go, this one can go out with a P-trap and go into this wall, and as I showed you underneath, come down into that floor. This will be the toilet, and it'll come out with a 3-inch and go that way. Here's the tub, which I can show from this side. There's the drain I showed you from underneath, where it can probably go this way and catch that 3-inch line there. So the question is going to be how best to run those and include a vent. This would probably be considered a wet vent, because I only want to run one vent for both bathrooms. I already have an existing vent line right here that goes into the attic, which I'll show you. This is cast iron, but we're going to eliminate that cast iron right there and change that to PVC. But I want to be able to bring a good vent, perhaps even up through this wall cavity here, because there is enough room to do a 3-inch vent right here and go right up into the attic, if I can tie everything else into it. That's what I'm hoping to do. I want to be able to tie everything into it, so I just have one main vent stack with both the first floor and second floor fixtures tied into it. I really don't want to put any venting in this wall here, this exterior wall, because just coming up through here is probably not going to be very feasible to get up into the attic. But I can get up into the attic through that wall cavity right there, if that makes sense to do. This wall cavity or this wall cavity might be more like this wall cavity right here, and that's about. It's about 9.5 inches. This one's about 11.5 inches wide. Now I'll show you what it looks like in the attic. So there's the attic, and there's where the pipe goes through the roof for the old vent pipe. As I said before, that cast iron pipe we're going to eliminate and use PVC. I can either bring up a 3-inch line and just make it all 3-inch and tie everything into that, or we could do a 2-inch line up through there. But either way, I'm going to end up transitioning from a 2-inch line to a 3-inch line right there where it meets the roof, so that's a 3-inch going out the roof. That can be accomplished either by just running a 3-inch vent from the bathrooms all the way up through, or if we do a 2-inch, then I can just transition it to a 3-inch going out through the roof, so that it's a wide enough diameter that doesn't get clogged with snow and ice during the wintertime. So that's about it in a nutshell. I'm going to include the diagrams with the measurements. I'm not restricted to a code here in Pennsylvania, but I would like to stay within a general building code when it comes to these plumbing, especially when it comes to the venting and the proper fall, proper connections, and make sure my trap arms are not too far, too close. So hopefully you can help me with that, and I'm also going to create some photos now as well.